Good morning. Another beautiful day here at Winding Hills. I'm very excited about the video I'm going to be doing today because it's starting to create the progress of what we're going through with this series of videos. We've talked about consciousness and how consciousness can work for and against us. We've shifted from that to how we input the conscious mind into subconscious acceptance. That's extremely important, that the subconscious mind, without too much intellectualization, accepts what our conscious mind tells us. Then we went to intuition, the power of intuition, in lesson 3. Now we're going to take those three things and bring it to the next step of what we refer to as mindset. So people understand to a degree what mindset is, but mindset isn't totally understood until we understand the complement of conscious, subconscious, and intuition into mindset. And that's what we're going to be summarizing and bringing it forward today. I'm on the 17th hole here at Winding Hills, which is probably one of our shortest holes, but interestingly enough, not one of our easiest. And that's because it's under a full shot. So when you're under a full shot in golf, we have to have a sensibility, what we talked about, intuitive sensibility, which has to be installed from conscious to subconscious to intuition and then into mindset. So how I set my mind for this shot. Being less than a full shot, we have to make a decision. Golf has become more complicated in recent years because they've added a lot of different clubs. I have 4 wedges in my hand. I carry 4 wedges because I have a lot of specialty shots I use. But in truth, the only 2 wedges you really need are a pitching wedge and a sand wedge. They've confused that a little bit more now by using degrees of loft for all these clubs, which I totally have no conscious understanding of. I think of lob wedge, sand wedge, gap wedge, which is in between a sand wedge and a pitching wedge, and pitching wedge. So when I come to this hole, depending on where the tee is forward today, I have to first of all have a intuition about what the length of my swing is. This is mindset, where we set our mind, and the club that I'm choosing. For today I'm going to use a sand wedge because I feel, not know, but I feel the distance to where the hole is. That would be a sand wedge. It's going to be about a 3/4 sand wedge, so I'm not going to be taking a full swing, so we have to allow our intuition and our intellect to help us create the setting of our mind. Now that starts, I'm going to put these other clubs aside here, and it starts initially with the idea of perception. So we're going to perceive what things look like, what they feel like down there, and we're going to make a few practice swings after a pre-shot routine. So I'm going to go through my pre-shot routine here with you and help you understand what my mindset is as I get ready to hit this shot. When you're doing a pre-shot routine, it's good to come back behind the ball, maybe anywhere from 6 to 10 feet, depending on how your relationship to the hole may feel at any given time. And you set your body in a 3rd point in a straight line to the hole. You sense that direction. You feel where the ball is going to land. I look out. I'll always look up to the top of the trees to see if there's any air moving, any wind blowing. Down here it could be very still and there'd be wind up there. So consciously I have to realize that, but then I have to set my mind to what effect that may have on the shot. I then look at that line as I approach the hole, and progressively I'll usually put the club at this point in my left hand, squaring the face, the leading edge square, and look at it, and I'll walk up with the club in my left hand. I have no particular reason for doing that except as part of my pre-shot routine. As I walk up, my body will turn into a relationship that's parallel to the line the ball is going to fly on. I will then set the club. So my mindset is getting me ready. My physiology, the mind-body-spirit connection, the physiology of where I want to be in relationship to this shot is now branded, if you would, in my mindset. Then what I have to do is shift over to trust and faith. Trust that I can and faith that I will. If there's any manipulation in this, and that's where most people have a problem on this shot, is they try to manipulate the ball to the green, it's going to come up short or go long. So we'll set the club. My right hand now goes on. My feet are not placed. I square the club. I set my body. And now I trust the swing. The ball should go quite high, land softly, and trickle down to the hole. So my mindset was set very clearly on what I wanted to try to accomplish. Now, we never know how hard the green may be at any given time, so that one didn't accept the ball as easily and hold the shot, and it landed on a downslope, so it ran to the back of the green. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go down and see the result of that. On the way down, I'm going to hit a sand shot to give you an idea what the mindset would be out of sand. Okay, now my shot off the tee went on the green, but I wanted to take a moment that if our mindset wasn't right, it's very easy to come up short on this hole and end up in one of these bunkers. One of the great things here at Winding Hills is they refresh the sand every year. This is newly refreshed sand, and they rake the bunkers here every day. If you're at a course where you have footprints and things in the sand, I would recommend you bring the rake in with you and prepare the sand. It's unfair to hit out of someone else's footprint. That's just a little side tip for you. So now, I have the green below my feet. It's rolling away from me, so I have to hit a very soft sand shot out of here, let it land on the green and roll to the hole. It's not going to stop like it would if the green was at the same level. So in a sand shot, we want to again square the leading edge to the ball, and the difference is now we open up our stance and our body. So my body and feet are pointed left of the actual target. My swing is going to be on my body lines across this way. So it's going to slip under the ball and allow the ball to be forced out of the trap or the bunker by the sand itself. That's why they sometimes refer to it as an explosion shot. All right, let's get ready, set up, square up, and let it happen. Looks pretty good. So you'll see that ball is rolling out. Now, I didn't consider there for a moment the break of the green, so I'm going to hit one more, and I'm going to actually play the break on the green. If you notice in the video, you'll see the sand actually pushing the ball out. The club and ball never come into contact with one another. So we're going to set up to the right of the hole now. Not bad. Okay, that time I really went for it, tried to get it to the hole, put a little more bite on it. So I'm behind the hole, but I got the exact line that I wanted. So it's just that adjustment in reading the green and understanding the concept of an acceptance of what's going on, but set our mind very clearly to that acceptance. Then we play our shot. We'll go on now to the putt that I hit from the tee. We'll go to the putt that was resulting and what I do from there. Okay, my ball off the tee came down and landed on the green about 10 feet behind the hole, 10 to 11 feet, partially because it hit on a downslope and the green was pretty hard today, and so it came off of that pretty quickly. But I'm very happy with that because it's in birdie range. That's all I'm looking for. Many people on this hole overcook this hole because it's so short. They don't set their mind properly to accept the length of the backswing. Remember, that's always what controls the distance. So they'll hit the ball consistently over this green. On this green, if you hit it over, you're going to be down on the next fairway. So it creates a real problem for trying to get up and down for a par. So I'm about where I wanted to be. Now the next thing is to set my mind properly to accept the fact that this is slightly downhill. It appears to be almost straight into the hole, but it can be misread very easily of having a break right to left or left to right. A lot of times a stroke or a putt that is flat straight into the hole, you can overread and interpret it differently. Our mindset then is to let the club do the work like every shot in golf, and to accept mindset acceptance of the flow of that club square through to the hole. Try not to intellectualize it. Tell yourself it's downhill, but set your mind to accept that, not try to hit it easier. It's so important to do that because we will come up short many times because we're trying to guide it into the hole. So I'll set my putter, square up, read and reread that line, set my body, and then set my mind. My mind goes into a relaxation response, a meditative moment of contact. and the ball went in the hole. Okay? Now that wasn't because I was trying to put the ball in the hole, it's because my mindset was correct to trust the force and allow something very wonderful to happen. That's how you get satisfaction in what I call playing golf. If you follow some of these suggestions into the future of your game and check in periodically on some of my future videos, I should be able to help you quite a bit to the mind-body-spirit connection. Thanks for being here today. We're going to pick up next week.